Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be having a look at the new and improved Demogorgon build I recommend here. Now, quickly going to point out a couple of factors about the Demogorgon. He is very loud with his movements, so kind of a stealthy build on Demo does not work, even though he has an undetectable status during his ability. Now let's talk about the Demogorgon's ability. He has two abilities. Technically he has three, but the third one's very complicated to explain. I'll do my best to doing it though. So the Demogorgon can push the control key. While pushing the control key, if there is given enough space around him, he's going to be able to put a portal on the ground. It will be invisible to survivors. He can then find another location. He starts with, I believe, 6 portals by default. He can find another location which is not too close. He can then press the control key and hold it and put a portal on the ground. He can now go underground from portal to portal. He has no heartbeat while doing so, but a sound indicator goes across the entire board that he is doing so. This being said, once he comes from one portal out the other portal, it will be exposed to a survivor, so a survivor can come over and break the portal, and then he has to place it again. He does get an indicator when a survivor breaks the portal. If a Demogorgon is holding Shred, now I know I haven't explained what Shred is, but Shred is when you hold the right mouse button. The Demogorgon's face will open up and it'll be a beautiful flower, and when that opens up, the longer it's open, he'll make a hissing sound. He can then press the M1, the left mouse button, and he will do a very, very fast, I think it's like 360% dash movement speed. It is huge, it is fast, it has near no aim assist and no turning though, so it can be spun. So keep that in mind. If the Demogorgon is holding Shred while on top of his own portal, any other portal that is open, which has a survivor around it, will show a pulsating heartbeat for the survivor, just like a clap. You'll be able to see it, and you'll know there's somebody around your portal. You can then go through a portal to the survivor, etc. Very hard and complicated to understand and explain, but hopefully that helped you. Now, the Demogorgon can make some incredible plays if you understand hiding your light, flicking your camera, opening your face to then get somebody out a window. I just want to quickly disclose, if a survivor is holding an item, if he runs at a window, the item will disappear when he hits spacebar. Instantly disappears, he'll vault the window, then the item will be in his hand. That is your indicator to know when to release Shred. If he's holding an item and he's running at a window, do not release Shred until you see the item disappear. If you didn't release Shred, the second you see her lift both feet off the ground, release Shred. Because you're moving at 360% movement speed or something, you will hit them through the window. It is so fast, it is so insane, and it is so devastating. It is kind of easy to catch good players at jungle gyms with the Demogorgon, but great players can be very difficult to try and outplay. That's why I'm going to show you my personal build as opposed to this build. The build you're currently looking at on screen is my recommended build to anyone as Demogorgon. Rank 1, rank 10, rank 15, rank 20. Why? Ruin's going to give me beginner stall. Yes, it relies on luck, could be replaced with corrupted dimension, but I would prefer Ruin to give me good portal placement and prep. There are 3 kinds of places you can put a portal. There are multiple ways to play Demogorgon. No on-hit ability is applied through Shred. Keep this in mind. We'll come back to that later. You can place a portal near somebody at the hook and come back after a hook save with maybe a make your choice hit and M1. You can place a portal on top of the basement and come back with territorial imperative and a make your choice hit on the basement. You can place a portal in front of a generator and go throughout the board and keep Pop Goes the Weasel pressure. There are a lot of ways to play Demogorgon and there is no right way. I personally prefer placing them near jungle gyms, like beside generators, but not on top of generators, so I'm out of line of sight. When I'm coming through the ground, survivors can see me, it'll make a sound, and if they know there's a portal there, they will react. Remember, even though I have no heartbeat, I am stomping really fast when I walk as well as a Demogorgon, which is a huge disadvantage, and he's obviously very, very tall, or she is very, very tall. Alright, moving on to the next perk. Barbecue and Chili. There are 2 killers in the game. I recommend Barbecue and Chili on. Every other killer, I recommend Thrill and Tremor. Right, those 2 killers is the Nurse. You can run Thrill on her as well, don't get me wrong, or Surge and Surveillance will run neither, depending on your playstyle. And the other one is Demogorgon. Now, I could run Thrill and Tremor, you're right. Why do I recommend Barbecue? Now, recently there was a bit of a change to the Demogorgon. You used to be able to come through a tunnel while survivors are breaking the tunnel and it wouldn't stop them from breaking the tunnel. But now, when they're breaking a tunnel, survivors will stop from breaking the... they will stop when you're coming through the tunnel. I just took Jeff, and then I see somebody breaking my tunnel, I go through the tunnel to them. That's generally why I like Barbecue and Chili. Or if I don't see anyone and I have a portal open nearby, I can just open my face, look around, and then see anybody's heartbeat and go to them too. Barbecue is going to give me really good information in terms of when somebody's breaking a portal. I can just stop them by going underground. Here comes into the add-ons into effect too. Obviously, if you know my streams, you know I don't use add-ons when I hit Prestige 3, like you can see on the right-hand side. However, I can tell you his best add-on in the game is called the Deer Lung, which is this one right here. The Deer Lung moderately increases his movement speed while in the upside down Down world. I want to make this really clear that in the Upside Down world, sound notifications are still activated for you. If a survivor fast forwards a window while you have them all ears, you will see them. If survivors are healing while you have nurses calling, you will see them. Do keep in mind, while you are tunneling through the underground, you are pretty much burrowing in a straight line. You can't turn your camera and look left or right, even though you'll see them on nurses calling past. If you understand the map layout, you'll be able to know where they were healing, etc. It just gives you really good information going throughout the entire board, and it allows you to travel at a much faster rate. Your other add-on is really hit and miss. There is nothing incredible on him, in my opinion. There are a couple of cute ones, like there you go, moderately the power recovery of the upside down, of how often you can go upside down. You can't just go portal to portal to portal. There'll be a cooldown between which you can do that. Keeping that in mind, that is actually a really strong combo. I know he has other add-ons up here, but at the same time, they're not really that great. Reading this, you can already see, reveals the aura of people while in the upside down world. Yes, it is strong based on the fact it is a pink add-on, but I'm looking at add-ons you can get generally in every blood web that there. I don't think you'll be getting every single blood web. And the other one just allows you to come through the portal, have the undetectable status for a period of time as well, and then M1 a survivor. However, you're going to sound like Happy Feet coming out of the ground, making a lot of noise, and a survivor with good situational awareness will be able to react in time. Best map for the Demogorgon, I'm going to come back and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say the Jigsaw piece. Keeping in mind the Demogorgon's special ability is Shred, where he opens his face and he does that crazy dash. That breaks pallets as well, so you don't need brutal strength. Because of this, the game is a great offering, because I pretty much have a fifth perk, which is brutal strength. If I knew I was going to the Jigsaw piece, I would not be running this build. This is my build I recommend for every map. Right, this would perform well regardless. It'll perform good on Liars Institute, it'll perform good on the game, it'll perform good on Hattonfield. It'll perform good pretty much in any situation. If I knew I was going to the game, I'd either put on Infectious Fright or Save the Best for Last based on the map that I am going to. Based on the fact I don't use add-ons, I like to run a build which is tailored for every map rather than 1, 2, 3 maps specifically. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that up there too, guys. If I had to pick another map rather than the Jigsaw piece, because you know I say that every video, I would probably... I'm going to tell you the truth here, they're not really great, man. You know, Red Forest isn't a good option. Springwood is alright. There's a lot of jungle gyms and you can be seen over them, so it's not great. Hattonfield. Don't want to go to a Coldwind Farm. I would probably pick the Azeroth's Key, man. No, Macmillan wouldn't be bad, but there is a lot of good jungle gym alignments on Suffocation Pit, so you could get put in a bad situation. In fact, you know what? I lied. I'd go to the wedding photograph, the Asylum. You can dash off hills for an incredible distance, and you can dash off the middle of the map. You can also do the same thing on Father's Chapel. I personally would pick the wedding photograph. Good map. It's good for every killer. Both versions are killer-sided, in my opinion, whether you get the Asylum or you get Father's Chapel. A lot of people think the Asylum's survivor-sided because of the million jungle gyms in the middle of the map. Hot tip, don't chase them around the million jungle gyms in the middle of the map. You'll notice the map pretty quickly becomes killer-sided. That being said, obviously if you find a weak link, take advantage of the weak link if he's going to be throwing shit early, or if you can get a pallet out of him, one pallet, rotate, and then get another guy to get another pallet. It just depends on how the map presents itself and the situation. However, going to Father's Chapel, there are 3 totem spawns in the middle of an open field with no cover, so if you're running Ruin, it's a bad idea. If I knew I was going to that map, I would replace Ruin with Corrupt Intervention personally. But then again, I could get Father's Chapel, 50-50, you're relying on luck there. Okay, guys, moving on to the last perk here. You've obviously got Pop for the stability and regression, 25% of how much of the generator is completed. If it's at 10%, however, it'll regress fully, etc. If the Jenny, for whatever reason, is at 99.9% completed, it takes 80 seconds to do a Jenny, 25% at 80 is 20. Therefore, you're knocking 20 seconds off of an 80-second Jenny, and it goes back to 60 and starts regression. Remember how I told you beforehand, on-hit effects from the Demogorgon are not applied to his Shred. Therefore, Sloppy Butcher will not apply if you use Shred. A lot of people think that's a bit of a nerf. You know, things like Surge won't apply if you use Shred. However, that was a massive buff. The perk I'm about to show you is an S++ perk on the Demogorgon, okay? Keep in mind, things like Infectious Fright will activate off Shred because they activate off things like a Hillbilly's Chainsaw as well. So this next perk I'm going to show you is an S++ on the Pig and the Demogorgon and no one else, for the reason that they can damage a survivor without consuming a stack. Rule of thumb is you M1 everybody unless you need to use a shred ability. Once you're done M1ing everybody, let's say you have 6 stacks, which allows you to recover 30% quicker from an attack. That is huge. If the obsession runs in front of you and does a spin and forces you to hit them, you open your face, you shred. Because shred doesn't apply on hit effects, you do not consume save the best for last, so you are still at 6 stacks. However, if you were to M1 her by default, you would go down to 4 stacks, you'd recover as if you had 6 stacks because it always goes off what you were on before you got your stack. For example, I'm on 4 stacks, I just hit Jeff, who is not my obsession, I'm on 5 stacks. I recover as if I had 4 stacks because I had 4 stacks before I finished the hit animation on Jeff to then get the buff, then it recovers from the 4, now I have 5. Hit Jeff again, I had 5, now I have 6, I recover from 5 stacks, vice versa. If I have 8, then I hit Jeff, I stay on 8, therefore I recover from 40%. That is kind of how the perk works for the people that don't understand that. S plus perk on both the pig because she can use ambush and a Demogorgon can use shred. Now the build I'm about to show you is the build I recommend if I was versing the best survivors in the world. A lot of you guys are probably going to turn around in the comments below and say this is a bad idea based on the fact Demogorgon can counter windows just by default. Now I don't feel myself like needing to need barbecue and chili. I don't really need information perks. I've got a lot of time and experience as killer, and I feel that sometimes I'll run them here and there if I'm on a slow killer like Huntress or Michael Myers to get out of stage 1. However, as a fast killer like Demogorgon, I don't feel I need them. But then again, you look at my Freddy build and I'm running them based on the fact it's very, very strong on him also. So these final 2 perks are both green. A lot of you guys are going to turn around and think, why are you running that combo? Okay, so let me explain this to you real quick. Bamboozled, when you vault a window, you vault it 15% quicker and it seals the window. The Demogorgon has a very interesting window vault animation where he climbs up the window and then climbs down the window. So it looks like it goes a lot faster than it does by default. So Bamboozled makes it insanely quick as well. No faster than a clown stepping a window. The animation just looks a lot different and puts people off. However, a survivor, I will know once they vault the window. So here's the play. If I can get the shred on them before the window, I will take the shred. If I can't get the shred, that sucks. Say I got the shred hit before he went through the window. He vaults the window and he waits on the corner. I turn my camera, I look the opposite direction. I can see him through the wall because he's glowing bright red. Then I vault the window, then I shred him again. Now, I know what you're thinking. A good survivor can react to that. No, they can't. My shred distance is about 8 meters by default the second I open my face, and I'm going through a window 15% quicker. I'm speaking from experience, as this is what I use to catch very good survivors. Very, very good survivors. Now, that being said, you might want to give it a go yourself, and I'd highly recommend it. I'm all ears. Like I said, when a survivor vaults a window, they will glow a bright color. If I ran this build without Bamboozled, yes, they get out of line of sight along those T-walls. If I have Bamboozled, they do not get out of line of sight on the T-walls. Worst case scenario, if it's an open T-wall, and I vault the window, and I turn my camera, and then I fast vault at him, he sidesteps it, but he's not going to be able to make it to the pallet in time. And for whatever reason, if he did, the pallet goes down. He could have Dead Hard. You are correct. That is the probably only outplay potential. But at the same time, I'll get Dead Hard like that. And what are the chances he vaults a window while having Dead Hard? It's not very something you do because you're in animation lock and you could be hit through it. I highly recommend this to anyone who wants to main Demogorgon in the red ranks. I don't have it right now based on the fact I just prestiged him. But when I do get him up to level 50, this will be the build I'm going for. Yet again, these add-ons are incredible. This is what I would run based on any map. The maps that would screw me over would be Hawkins. Hawkins, I'm going to get near no value from Bamboozled. I can get value from All Ears though, and the game. The game I'm going to get value from All Ears, plus it's a killer-sided map, so I don't really need a 4th perk being Bamboozled as well. There's like 2 maps. If they're on anything like Liar's Institute, I still have a huge advantage over it as well. I try and hide the fact that I have Bamboozled at the beginning of a match and play off that as well. So keeping in mind, this is what I would highly recommend for you as a Demogorgon if you wanted to main him. He's very fun, not many people play him, and he's off meta, but you can play him well and efficient with the right build. Alrighty guys, if this video helped you at all, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button and feel free to pop into the live streams that I do here on Twitch 5 days a week, where we teach as many of these beautiful Twitch people over here. Give us a wave, Twitch chat. We teach them as much as we can about killer and survivor content, guys. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the fog.